People have tried to make this, have tried to make sexual harassment the only issue here. Now, sexual harassment is ugly. It's unforgivable. It's wrong. It's extremely destructive, especially to women, but to men too. Sexual harassment should not be allowed. I'd like you to describe now, for this gathering, what it's like to be accused of sexual harassment. Tell us what it feels like.
Senator, as I have said throughout these hearings, the last 2.5 weeks have been a living hell. I think I've died 1,000 deaths. What it means is living on 1 hour a night sleep. It means losing 15 pounds in 2 weeks. It means being unable to eat, unable to drink, unable to think about anything but this, and wondering why and how. It means wanting to give up. It means losing the belief in our system, in this system and in this process. Losing a belief in a sense of fairness and honesty and decency. That's what it's meant to me. When I appeared before this committee for my real confirmation hearings, it was hard. I would have preferred it to be better. I would have preferred more members to vote for me. But I had a faith that at least the system was working in some fashion, though imperfectly. I don't think this is right. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong for the country. I think it's hurt me, and I think it's hurt the country. I've never been accused of sex harassment. And anybody who knows me knows I am adamantly opposed to that. Adamantly. And yet I sit here accused, and I'll never be able to get my name back. I know it. The day I received the phone call on Saturday night, last Saturday night, about 7:30, and told that this was going to be in the press, I died. The person you knew, whether you voted for me or against me, died. My view is that that is an injustice.
Judge,
as I indicated earlier, it is an injustice to me, but it is a bigger injustice to this country. I don't think any American, whether that person is homeless, whether that person earns a minimum wage or is unemployed, whether that person runs a corporation or small business, black, white, male, female, should have to go through this for any reason. The person who appeared here for the real confirmation hearings believed that it was okay to be nominated to the Supreme Court and have a tough confirmation hearing. This person, if asked by George Bush today, would he want to be nominated, would refuse flatly and would advise any friend of his to refuse. It's just not worth it.
Judge, you're here, though. Some people have been spreading the rumor that perhaps you're going to withdraw. What's Clarence Thomas going to do?
I'd rather die than withdraw. If they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me.
So you'd still like to serve on the Supreme Court?
I'd rather die than withdraw from the process. Not for the purpose of serving on the Supreme Court, but for the purpose of not being driven out of this process. I would not be scared. I don't like bullies. I've never run from bullies. I never cry uncle, and I'm not going to cry uncle today, whether I want to be on the Supreme Court or not.
Well, Judge, I hope next Tuesday you make it. And I believe you will. And I believe you should. And I believe it's important for every American that you do. Because I think in your short 43 years of life, you've just about seen it all. And if anybody's in a position to help their fellow men and women under the Constitution, then I have to say you are. And I'm proud of you. And I'm proud of you for not backing down. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Now, we're down to senators having 5 minutes, and I will begin to yield back and forth. Judge, let me make sure I understand one thing. Do you believe that interest groups went out and got Professor Hill to make up a story? Or do you believe Professor Hill had a story, untrue from your perspective, that, as referred to here, groups went out and found? Which do you believe?
Senator, I believe that someone, some interest group, I don't care who it is, in combination, came up with this story and used this process to destroy me.
Got Professor Hill to make up a story.
I believe that in combination, this story was developed or concocted to destroy me.
With Professor Hill? I mean, that's a critical question. Are you saying with Professor Hill that a group...
That's just my view, Senator.
I know, I'm trying to make sure I understand
There's no details to it or anything else. The story developed. I do not believe the story is not true. The allegations are false. And my view is that others put it together and developed this.
And put it in Professor Hill's mouth?
I don't know. I don't know how it got there. All I know is that the story is here, and I think it was concocted.
Well, Judge, I know you believe that, and I am not here to be able to or attempt to, at this moment, refute that. There has been an assertion that has just been made, and I wanted to know whether you had agreed with it, that it's important for us to keep our eye on the ball here. Either Professor Hill had a story that she told someone and it was taken advantage of by being leaked. That's one thing. She says that. And the other story that seems to be being painted now, not by you, I'm asking what you believe, is that a group sat down, decided to make up a story, and found a willing vessel in Professor Hill and got her to say it. Now, they are fundamentally different things in terms of culpability.
Senator, those distinctions are irrelevant to me.